What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Today we're going to be doing clutch mod number 3. In previous videos, I already removed the clutch helper spring, and I also put on a clutch stop to make the clutch feel a lot better. Today we're going to be removing the clutch delay valve. I'm going to take you through that process right now. All right, so to access the area that we need, I need to remove my intake, this little box thing right here, the filter. Now, if you have a stock intake, it's going to be a little more difficult because you're going to have to remove the whole box. Luckily for me, it's just pulling this up and removing the filter right here, and I should be able to access where I need to. All right, so we're going to remove the filter. I'm going to loosen this up. And now I'm just going to undo this from the grommets. Should just 1, 2. This should easily come off. I might need 2 hands to pull this out. Okay, so this is the area that we're going to be working in now, guys, once you remove your airbox. So we need to remove this valve right here. So there's 2 clips, one right here and one right here. You could either use a pick or a very small little screwdriver. We have to pry these clips up, 1 and 2, remove this line, and then pull the valve off of this side. And we're going to be able to remove this out of the way because the delay valve is inside of here. And then I have a couple of caps that I purchased that I'm going to block off this line because I'm trying to get the least amount of air inside the system as possible. You will need to bleed your clutch after you do this because you probably will get a little bit of air. Not all the time, but just to be safe, I'm going to bleed the clutch once I remove all of this, and I'm going to show you how to remove the delay valve out of here. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this with one hand. So, got 1. So that clip is up, and again, you guys need both of these out. That clip is up now. Okay, guys, so I'm going to pull out the one side first and then cap it off, and then I'm going to pull out the second side and then cap it. You might get a little bit of fluid, so I'm going to cap that side. And now we have the bleeder block. I just need to remove it from the second side. All right, guys, and then you should have something like this once you pull the OEM bleeder block off. So we got 1 cap right there and 1 cap on the second line right there so that the least amount of air comes in as possible. Let me show you what we have to remove. All right, guys, so here we have the OEM bleeder block. Inside this block, there's going to be a little yellow valve type piece in here, which is the delay valve. Now, it's going to be super hard to see. Let me try and brighten this up a little bit. Maybe we can... It might be a little bright, guys, but if you can see the little yellow piece in there, that's what we need to remove. All right, guys, so here's the delay valve. Here's the top piece that I just took off. You need to remove this clip to be able to get this off so that you're able to remove this little yellow piece, which is your delay valve. This is what's supposed to make the clutch feel the best possible, according to what everybody tells me. So now that this piece is gone, it's super bright outside. I'm sorry, guys. Let me darken this up a little bit. There we go. So now that the delay valve is off, we can now reinstall our bleeder block back into the system. Then we bleed the clutch and we're going to take the car out for a drive. All right, guys, so I got the block back into place. Everything is good to go. Now I'm going to remove this cap on the top of the OEM bleeder block right here. And now with that little piece right there, we're going to be bleeding the clutch to get any air that might have gone into the system out. All right, guys, so I'm going to be self-bleeding my clutch with my hand. I have a little bottle with a hose because I don't have somebody else here to pump the clutch while I open and close the valve. So we're going to be slowly, I'm going to pump it up like 2, maybe 7, 8 times and check. Okay, so I have the clutch bled now. There's no more bubbles throughout the entire hose all the way through, and the clutch has very nice pressure. It feels really good. So I'm going to be closing back up this bleeder valve. Make it nice and tight. Okay, so after bleeding the clutch, it's got very good pressure. Again, don't mind my Crocs, they're very comfortable. Do not clown me for this. But the clutch feels awesome, comes right back into place perfectly. So now I'm gonna put everything back together and we're gonna take the car out for a drive and see what I think. All right, so I haven't started the car yet, but the clutch feels good. So I feel the clutch is bled properly. I'm gonna find out now when I drive it. If I have to come back and re-bleed it, I'll do that. It's not a big deal, it's not hard to bleed the clutch anyway. So we're gonna start it up, just gonna make sure everything is okay, good, very good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to roll it up in first gear just to make sure that the clutch engages Okay, so the clutch engages perfectly fine. We're gonna back up. Okay, clutch is still catching good. First gear. Reverse. Okay, so the clutch does feel good. So now we're gonna take the car on a drive, shift through the gears, and see what the car actually feels like. All right, guys, so I've done the 3 clutch mods that everybody recommends. I took out the clutch spring, I put a clutch stop in, and now I have removed the delay valve and the bleeder block in the clutch system. So everything is bled out, the clutch feels good. So we're gonna go out on a drive and see what the combination of all 3 things can do for this car. I haven't even driven the car, I just rolled it back and forth a couple times. So first gear, okay, so the clutch engages pretty much the same way. The clutch doesn't feel spongy, so I do feel that I bled it enough and correctly to have no issues. I made sure to go through the line. There was no more bubbles in the line. It was just taking straight fluid, which is good. It is a little tricky to bleed a clutch by yourself, so hopefully I have no issues with that, but the clutch is going in and out very simple, so I made sure that the reservoir had fluid at all times. So let's see. Okay, so this is a little bumpy road. I can't really shift yet, so let me get to a more straightaway road and then I'll get back with you guys. So let's head on a drive and see how this feels. So I'm gonna give it a good rip. All right, so right off the bat, nothing too crazy, just the 1, 2, 2 to 3. Not my best driving, but immediately, first thing that I notice is that delay, literally what the name of the part does, is not there anymore. So first to second went in very easily. There was no delay between the shift, which is one of the biggest problems that the car had beforehand. Was first to second and second to third, which were the gears that were the most noticeable to me. You would feel a delay between the shift even when you tried as hard as you could not to. Now that delay completely went away. So yeah, even downshifting feels easier too, like honestly. Yeah, the gear changes are so much quicker, guys, like so much quicker. This feels phenomenal, honestly. Paired with the clutch stop and the clutch spring removal, this is a great trio of clutch mods that you need to do to your car. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna turn around and go back the other way. Yeah, guys, first to second is fixed. I'll get second to third. The car just feels so much more responsive now, so much more alive, and even downshifting too, it's just so much smoother. From fourth to third, it just instantly goes in. Nah, this car feels awesome now. This is exactly what the car needed. I'm not gonna say that it's 100% perfect because it's not, but this car absolutely needed this. It feels so much better than it did. Wow, guys. If you have any kind of Mark 7, Golf, Sport Wagon, GTI, Golf R, do this. Do all 3 clutch mods. Take out the spring, put a stop in, and remove the delay valve. This car feels so much more responsive now. The gears just go in. It even makes it feel like the shifter's smoother, but downshifting, honestly, guys, absolutely recommend. You need to do this mod. I wish I did this right when I got the car, but it's nice to be enjoying this car in different stages. So, yep, it's a must do, guys. You guys got to do this stuff. Anyways, guys, that's going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you see this right here, this is my wireless mic system that I've been using, which actually works pretty well. I've been liking it so far. A lot easier to get audio to sound better. I can go farther away, still sounds good. I don't have to yell as much and scream as much. So that's really good. I really like this. And I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check it out. It's pretty cheap for a wireless system. It's like $100, so pretty good. But anyways, guys, the clutch delay valve, removing that feels so much better. Honestly, 100% doing those 3 mods to your clutch, removing the clutch stop, taking out the delay valve, and and removing the clutch spring. Those 3 things paired together really make the clutch in this car feel so much better. I have no complaints now. Removing the clutch spring makes the clutch a little heavier and feel less assisted. The clutch stop will reduce the clutch travel when you're pushing the clutch in and out and when you're shifting gears. And the delay valve literally does what it says when you remove it. It removes the delay when you're shifting between the gears, and it's super noticeable in first and second, and then second to third. Completely changed the characteristic of the car. I feel like I can bang gears in this car now, when before, when you were to throw first to second and then second to third, you feel like you had to wait a second before it really got in, before you can mash the throttle again. So that's completely gone. So now that I did those 3 things, I think I'm gonna risk it. I think we're gonna tune the car. And stay on the lookout for that coming within the next couple of videos. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet, tune the car, see if my stock clutch with 65,000 miles on it can hold the power, or for how long, or if it slips right away, we got to do the clutch, and then we can maybe go a little crazier. I think we're going to do that. But anyways, guys, hopefully you found this video enjoyable. Hopefully you guys do this, because again, it is a free mod. There's not much you could do. You can make your own bleeder kit. You could find little like vacuum line caps for like $2 at the hardware store. So it's a super easy process. But anyways, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.